Another topic in the studies of consciousness is more the level of consciousness. And in the situation that we are in now, we are almost all of us resting, and we are consciously awake, and that seems to be a modulation of the cortex by the brainstem. So there is interaction between the brainstem and the cortex. When we are in this awake state where we are present and we are resting, in comparison to another conscious state, which is deep sleep, which is a physiological normal condition, but again, what you see here is that the brainstem now modulates the frontal cortex in a different way. So there is more of an inhibition of the frontal cortex when you're in the deep sleep stage compared to the awake stage. Then you can do also general anesthesia, which is a pharmacologically induced state or a chemically induced state, where you also change the level of conscious awareness. So in that stage, you're not aware of anything. Then you have various ways of vegetative conditions or coma states where patients suffering traumas or poisoning, they also lose consciousness. And then you have also the epileptic loss of consciousness, which is also a pathological condition that's separating the other stages of conscious awareness. And this is typically driven, as we've also spoken about in the lectures on EEG, that you have this slow synchronization where you start to see a synchronization in one area that then spreads to most of the brain. And that gives rise to a different state of conscious, or at least unconscious state, where you can separate these from each other. These are some studies where they have looked at brain metabolism in different stages of conscious or unconscious stages. So you see that in the areas that are marked in black on the white brains, you will have in the coma state and the vegetative state, you will have reduction of the energy metabolism. You can also see that in the sleep stage, you have somewhat similar pattern, but it is much less reduced, the amount of energy metabolism. And then again, in general anesthesia case, you also have reduced energy metabolism. And what you can see is that you have frontal areas and parietal areas, and also the precuneus and the middle frontal cortex, where you have a reduced energy metabolism when you're in an unconscious state. So it seems that it's a network, at least many areas are involved in reducing energy metabolism when you are in unconscious states. And this then favors the idea of this global workspace idea, that you have this global global brain activity that is necessarily for conscious awareness.